On this Wellness Wednesday, we're also talking about betrayal trauma and how to cope. Betrayal trauma is what you experience after you've put your ultimate trust in someone close to you, and that someone has broken that trust and violated you. This could be in the form of child abuse, parental abandonment, domestic violence, and most often, infidelity. And last week, when we talked about the crippling effects, this topic really resonated with a lot of viewers. We received text messages and feedback, even among our coworkers. So we wanted to continue the conversation today. Joining me once again is therapist Julianna Lyddon. You know, last week when we touched about this topic, we talked about minimizing the pain and you talked about hypnotherapy. You are actually a clinical hypnotherapist as well. So walk us through how this works.
Yes, so the really amazing thing about hypnotherapy is it works in the subconscious. The subconscious controls 90% of our brain.
Wow.
It actually holds, it's like a big data bank. It holds every experience we've ever gone through in our lives. So when you come in for hypnotherapy, maybe you're suffering from betrayal trauma, or maybe it's something less severe, like you're just stuck in your life. I put you into a deep state of relaxation. Now, when I do that, what happens is the subconscious mind kind of wakes up, and it is very open to suggestibility. So we go back, when we're suffering trauma or a pain point, we can go back through the continuum of our lives, and we can find where we have seen or experienced a similar trauma. So sometimes it can be even in childhood. And so through this relaxed state, the really amazing thing is we find that memory, we bring it up, we heal some of this inner child, but here's the piece that's amazing. We can actually change the belief that you had about yourself. So as a young child, maybe what happened is I felt unloved. I felt so disempowered. I was so unhappy. And in that moment, we can shift that to I'm happy, I'm powerful, I'm grateful. And when you come out of that deep, relaxed state, my goodness, you feel so much more whole because you've healed.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I got chills when you were explaining that to me. And I bet you feel awakened.
Oh my gosh,
it's like a
you
rebirth.
do. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's just beautiful. It really is.
Wow. Okay. And is it one session or is it multiple? I mean, does this
great subject.
Yeah, I'm
great
just curious. And it probably depends on the type of trauma too,
It does.
right?
So you have to work on one thing at a time. So you come in, maybe it's betrayal trauma, infidelity. We're going to go back and look where you experienced a similar type of trauma. Maybe isn't infidelity, but trauma stays with us unless we deal with it. And it just kind of lays low till you hit something again, and bam, you might really explode with a lot of pain.
And wait till you like bring it to the surface. To expose it.
Right.
Okay, what if some people would be scared to go through this, to go under, hypnotherapy?
Yes. Well, what happens is sometimes people think, if you remember the comedy clubs and stuff, where they go around and then you're on the stage. And you're clucking like a chicken. So they think, oh, you're gonna, if it's suggestible, the subconscious, maybe you're going to make me think something or do something. Absolutely not. The beautiful thing is you will do nothing or think anything that you don't feel comfortable with.
Oh, wow.
So the people on that stage, they go around, they've already talked to everybody, and they know they can't wait to be excited and show off.
It's kind of planted.
So they know.
Okay, so you talked about hypnotherapy. There are two other modalities. Can you quickly go into
Yes,
those?
EMDR and brain spotting. Sorry, brain spotting. And what these have to do with are eye movements or fields of the eyes, because what they say happens here is as your eyes are moving and you're working on the trauma, you're almost resetting it in the brain. I don't do these modalities, but they do help. And there are lots of therapists that do.
Yeah, and then the brain spotting, is that?
The same thing. So that one, you're actually looking at a specific field, like over in a spot, which sounds so bizarre, but it works very, very well as you're moving through the traumatic experience.
Oh, wow.
So your eyes aren't moving, but they're fixed. So it has to do with the eyes and the brain. It's quite fascinating.
So fascinating.